Hi, this is Zach from Luxurytainment. This is going to be a very exciting fight lined up for Conor, and I believe he has a good chance at it. In this video, we'll look at the reasons why Conor can win this fight with Manny Pacquiao. A few question Conor's ability as a fighter, but can he box? He did very well with Floyd Mayweather in a $1 billion boxing fight debut in 2017, losing only on the 10th round to an all-time great Mayweather. After all, though, McGregor has trained as a boxer. Mixed martial arts fighting is extremely different from the relatively controlled rules of boxing. It's easy to imagine a jack of all trades, master of none scenario that leaves McGregor unprepared to fight Manny Pacquiao, one of the best boxers of all time. McGregor's most obvious weakness is his lack of boxing experience. It's also what makes him more dangerous. Obviously, McGregor is at a glaring disadvantage because they are competing at Pacquiao's craft. It's his discipline. But McGregor's advantage is that he is different. He's an unknown to a certain degree. Manny doesn't know what to expect apart from what was shown in the Mayweather fight. And Conor himself recently shivers in embarrassment at the boxing techniques he displayed fighting Floyd. I believe you will see an improved Conor, one that can cause an upset. I have seen McGregor's rough around the edges boxing style, and I think they also show his unpredictability as a fighter. I've sparred with MMA guys as a boxer, and it's harder than you might think. It took me a while to figure them out. However, most of the talk has been about McGregor's adjustments to a new style. Those differences start with the shape of the ring itself. I believe the shape of a boxing ring versus the UFC octagon significantly affects the tactics of a fight. Octagons don't have corners, whereas boxing rings do. So from a tactical perspective, athletes can get trapped in a corner, or a fighter can use them to keep an opponent in a specific part of the ring. Another consideration is the ropes of a ring, allowing boxers to avoid punches, a tactic unavailable to UFC fighters in the cage. The transition from UFC to boxing is more than just learning how to stay out of the corners, requiring a different fitness level and approach. While there are important differences in the length and number of the rounds for championship level bouts in both sports, 5 rounds of 5 minutes for UFC, 12 rounds of 3 minutes for boxing, the discrepancy lies in the tempo of boxing. Importantly, the biggest difference between boxing and MMA is the effort to pause ratio, which essentially defines tempo of a fight. In boxing, the effort to pause ratio averages 3:1. But in professional MMA, that ratio is flipped to 1:4, primarily due to the impacts of grappling and ground fighting. The bottom line is that boxers tend to spend more time working and less time regrouping, forcing McGregor to condition differently for the fight. For McGregor, each round will be shorter. Of course, focusing on just boxing influences preparation as well, as it removes a large portion of that technical training an MMA fighter would normally do. An MMA fighter would normally prepare to kick, grapple and strike and defend against the same. This of course doesn't mean that McGregor, considered a world-class striker, is unaccustomed to punching. Conor is one of the best strikers punchers in the UFC with knockout power. As an MMA fighter, he has addressed the specific conditioning needs for punching boxing, but everyone knows that his punching power was already outstanding. If you look up some videos of boxing and MMA, and it will be apparent that movement in the two styles can also be very different, largely owing to the fighting stance and technical skills used in each. Boxers stand side on to minimize the target area, but MMA fighters stand further away from an opponent and often stand in an open stance to avoid kicks or takedowns. MMA fighting requires the athlete to consider attacks by many different methods, whereas boxing is largely coming from a specific zone. McGregor also has one distinct advantage for which Pacquiao has no counter, and that's his age. Manny Pacquiao might be in great shape, but it's still great shape for a 41-year-old. Great shape for a 32-year-old like McGregor is something different, and it's been since July 2019 when Pacquiao last fought. The age differences might affect Pacquiao's training and his ability to recover and rob him of speed and quickness. McGregor's powerful left hand, regardless of glove weight, is capable of ending the fight well before conditioning becomes a factor. I believe that while both have powerful incentives to win, the pressure is on Pacquiao. Manny has got his legacy on the line, and for him, anything less than dominating the fight will be seen as a loss. Of course, for all the talk of similarities and differences, the allure of the fight lies in the fact that no one really knows what will happen, but Conor has a chance to beat the legend if he does not tank out in the later rounds. Expect the unexpected. I have Conor on the line actually. Did you want to add anything to this, Conor?
Yeah, shut your mouth. Never speak about me, ever in your life. Watch yourself around me, because you'll be out of here quick.
Thank you, Conor. I'm glad you're back.